WorldView Today, U.S. China trade. War intensifies, global supply chains shift. As the trade war between the United States and China escalates, nations and multinational corporations are increasingly forced to pick sides. WorldView Today examines the far-reaching implications of this economic showdown, from supply chain disruptions to national security concerns. China's manufacturing dominance faces challenges. China's manufacturing sector, while vast, relies heavily on low-end production, particularly in labor-intensive industries like electronics assembly. However, when it comes to long-term stability, many global players are looking elsewhere. Apple, the U.S. tech giant, is reportedly planning to relocate its entire iPhone production for the U.S. market from China to India by 2026. This move could double Apple's manufacturing output in India, effectively ending 2 decades of significant investment in China, where 90% of iPhones are currently assembled. The exodus of tech giants like Apple could cost China hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of jobs. Beijing is responding by delaying approvals for equipment relocation, extending processing times from 2 weeks to 4 months or more. In response, Apple is exploring partnerships with countries like Japan and Germany to produce equipment for direct shipment to India, potentially leaving parts of China's supply chain obsolete. Trade war beyond economics. The U.S. China trade war is not just about economics. It's a matter of national security for both nations. For the U.S., prolonged trade deficits could exacerbate the national debt, threatening manufacturing and defense capabilities. For China, the risk is mass unemployment, particularly among youth, which could destabilize social order. Both nations are seeking a delicate balance, but the question remains, where will tariffs settle? President Donald Trump, advised by hawkish figures like Secretary of State Rubio and Treasury Secretary Benz, maintains a hardline stance. Compared to his inner circle, Trump appears relatively moderate on China, but significant concessions seem unlikely. China, meanwhile, is feeling the heat. Reports indicate Beijing has offered tariff exemptions on 131 U.S. imports, including semiconductors, medical equipment, and chemicals like ethane, critical for its plastics industry. These exemptions aim to mitigate domestic economic strain, but they highlight China's vulnerability in global trade. India emerges as a manufacturing hub. India, with its massive population and lower labor costs, is becoming a prime destination for companies like Apple. Foxconn, a key Apple supplier, has already scaled up iPhone assembly in India, producing $22 billion worth of devices in the 12 months ending March 2025, a 60% increase from the previous year. This rapid shift underscores India's growing role in global supply chains, challenging China's long-standing dominance. China's retaliation and strategic moves. In a bold countermove, China has halted exports of critical rare earth minerals and magnets essential for automotive and semiconductor industries. This tactic, likely directed by President Xi Jinping, aims to disrupt U.S. supply chains and pressure Washington into concessions. Beijing is also strengthening trade ties with Southeast Asian nations to offset losses from U.S. tariffs, though the effectiveness of these partnerships remains uncertain given America's dominance as a global buyer. Demographic and social pressures in China faces a looming demographic crisis that compounds its economic challenges. In 2024, marriages dropped by 20.5%, projecting a decline in births from 9.54 million to approximately 7.8 million in 2025. If the trade war persists, rising youth unemployment could further depress marriage rates, shrinking China's population and domestic consumption. Unlike past generations that embraced large families during hardship, modern Chinese youth are opting out of parenthood amid economic uncertainty, reflecting a declining tolerance for adversity. U.S. policy and corporate shifts. On the U.S. side, President Trump has exempted key tech products like smartphones and laptops from tariffs to prevent price spikes that could harm consumers and industries. However, the broader trade war continues to disrupt tech giants, particularly in the semiconductor sector. The U.S. is pushing suppliers to relocate to allies like India, though replicating China's integrated supply chains remains a challenge. Elon Musk's strategic pivot amid the trade war. Billionaire Elon Musk is recalibrating his focus. Musk recently announced he will step back from government roles by late May 2025 to concentrate on Tesla. His ambitious plans include launching autonomous robotaxis in Austin, Texas, by June 2025, and scaling production to 1 million vehicles annually by 2026. Additionally, Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot, unveiled in October 2024, is set for limited production in 2025, with a long-term goal of 100 million units per year. Musk predicts these innovations could propel Tesla's market value beyond the combined worth of today's top 5 companies. Global implications. The U.S. China trade war is reshaping global commerce, with supply chains, jobs, and national security at stake. As President Xi doubles down and President Trump holds firm, the world watches to see who will blink first. WorldView Today will continue to monitor this unfolding story, bringing you the latest insights and analysis. Stay tuned to WorldView Today for more in-depth coverage. Follow us for updates and share your thoughts in the comments below.